it's just been officially announced here that Ayr United will be going full-time for season 17-18. And here at Ayr United Media, we've taken the chance to come down and speak to gaffer Ian McCall and commercial manager Graeme Miller. Well, Ian, it's been an exciting announcement for Ayr United today that we're definitely going full-time for season 17-18. So what does that mean for the club?
Well, I mean, I think the first season, you know, the transfer from part-time to full-time won't be easy. I think the important thing is to turn the club full-time for many seasons to come. I mean, I think that's the only way you would be able to create a kind of vibrant community club who can more than hold their own in the championship. Where, if the club was full-time, where I feel our club should be. I mean, there was the opportunity maybe to do it last season, but I didn't think that we were very aware of what that would entail, and particularly budgetary requirements would be higher at that level than in League One. And not for a minute am I saying I'm pleased we get relegated. I'm not, because it was devastating, but it would perhaps give us a better base to bring in some younger players and try and progress them. You know, part of the full-time squad will be 6 or 7 players who come through the academy, all of whom I had in training with me for the last 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season, and you know, none of them looked out of place. I'm not saying that any of them will do a McGuffey and come through really quickly, but you know, the opportunity is there for them. We would hope to run with a squad of 18 plus 6 or 7 kids, and the vast majority of that would be full-time. I mean, it is very exciting. It's if we really want to develop as a club, it's really the only way forward for our club with the type of fan base we have. I mean, I know it fluctuates a lot, but you saw in the Stranraer game when we had 5,000 there, what we're capable of. I'm not saying for 1 minute we'll get that every week, but if we get our regular fan base up to, and listen, we've got to produce better results. I've got to produce better results, but up to 1,500, I think we're capable of getting over 1,500 home fans, and that should be the basis to do a reasonable level of full-time football.
What does it mean to you as a manager? That's for the club, but you as a manager, day-to-day running, and what you can do with the team?
Well, I mean, I started, God, many moons ago, and I've only, apart from Queen's Park when I started, I've only ever known full-time football. It was the part-time football. The one thing I found hard was, and this isn't any reason why we're relegated, none at all, but you know, the technical side of things and the shape of the team and stuff, I felt that you couldn't bring players in on a Thursday night, train them, and then at 9:30 take them out onto the pitch and do all sorts of shape and set plays, etc, and name the team. You know, you name a team on a Thursday, somebody is unwell on a Friday, you have to change it again. So, I mean, from my point of view, it gives you far more time to develop players. I mean, hopefully one of our new signings is also a fitness coach, a guy that I'm trying to get, because we have got the likes of McGuffey and Forrest and Robbie and these guys, if they all stay, which I hope they will, they need developed physically as well as footballers. So there's all sorts of things that are of benefit. You know, every Friday after training, you would go on the pitch, the team would be announced, you would run through all your stuff you want to do for the following day, if you're playing a certain way, etc. It's all that. It's just a different way of working. There's no doubt about it.
So for the players, what would a week entail?
Well, for the vast majority of them, it would be, I mean, this is subject to under 20 games and things, and reserve games, but it would be Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, the Wednesday would be off, then the Thursday morning, then the Friday morning. And also, you know, my job is to try and create an environment where the likes of these young players, they will have, I'd like to think they'll be in the gym at 9:30 on a Monday morning and on a Tuesday morning, doing the programmes that have been set for them without me asking. So it just becomes a routine for them to develop. You know, I think we have got 2 or 3 players that are potentially very special, and they need to do that to progress their careers.
So you mentioned possible new signings there, but first could we look at, fans have been asking just now, who do we still have signed?
Under contract is Greg Fleming, Paddy Boyle, Brian Gilmer, I have my list here, Gary Harkins, Jordan Hart and Craig McGuffey. We've made offers to Michael Rose, Robbie Crawford. We're hoping to be able to make an offer to Craig Moore soon. Paul Kearney has been invited back to pre-season training. I've yet to speak to Jamie Adams. I'll speak to Darren Meggett this week. Craig McGuffey has been made an offer for an extra year. Ross Docherty has been made an offer, and I'll speak to them at Wardrop this week. So that's the gist of it. I've been in contact with 10 players, but there's 3 players out there that I would really like to sign. I've done an awful lot of groundwork, and I know them as players, they're good players, but I've done a lot of groundwork into the type of boys they are, and they would be, for me, they're key signings. And but it's all got to come within, you know, the budget will be very, very tight. And you know me, I'm not one to talk about budgets, because there's too much talked about it. You know, who's to say a team with a budget of 200 grand can't beat a team that's budget $1 million? It can happen, you know. I'm not into all that kind of stuff, but we need to be very, very strict this year with it, because we can't rely on Lachlan, and I don't like calling Lachlan the chairman anymore. He will be there for us, there's no doubt, but we need to try and be cost effective over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years and beyond.
Yeah, you're talking about you've targeted players again, in particular areas that you've targeted.
Well, one of them was a left centre back, one of them was a right back midfield player, mostly right back, and one of them was a centre forward.
Yeah, so you've got a sort of plan for this time. How far on are you with negotiations or contract talks?
Well, it's very frustrating. I'm pretty far down the road with a few of them. You know, at our club it's a little bit hard, because I can't really offer things without the say so, and sometimes getting to talk to the chairman's quite tough, you know. So, but we are quite far down the road with some of them, and all the boys that I want to keep here, they'll need to give me an answer reasonably quickly, you know. And I think we're close to a few of them.
Now, 19th of June is pre-season, the start of pre-season. Are you hoping to get the full squad in before then, or the majority of the squad, or how do you look at it?
Well, I've already had most of them in, talking to them, etc., but for training purposes it would be the 19th of June, and you know, I've got a meeting at the West of Scotland Rugby Club, where we base ourselves Monday and Tuesday tomorrow, to talk about, you know, our requirements, etc., and Thursday and Friday would be in Ayr. I mean, I think eventually, as the full-time evolves, it's not to say I'll be here, but as the full-time evolves, you'd like to think it would be based solely in Ayr. But for that you need a really good facility. So the 2 days a week, and also you've got to be fair to the players that live in the Central Belt as well. So 2 days in Glasgow and 2 days in Ayr is reasonably fair for everybody. So that would be the base of it. It would be the 19th of June, and perhaps the first 2 weeks would be spent just at the West of Scotland. But you know, it's not as important to, you know, the season now. There's just no respite for players anymore. But if you're able to train twice a day, twice on a Monday, twice on a Tuesday, once on a Wednesday, twice on a Thursday, twice on a Friday in a week, you know, you don't have to cram, you don't have to come in far earlier, like, you know, to get the number of sessions, and you need to get them into the level of fitness required, and then it was just a matter of playing games. And also, I would say modern footballers, you don't get many people these days that come back the way some of us used to come back in years gone by to pre-season.
So do you think you'll have signed a full squad by then, or are you still just right up to the beginning of the season? You'll be right up to the end? Well,
this is yet to be board approved. I hope to have 18 players, and I think if I have 16 of them signed by the 19th, I'll be very, very happy. But you've also got to leave room for 1 or 2. But I think it would be tight if we didn't have 18 pros and 6 or 7 kids. And the thing is, the onus is on the kids. I'm saying kids, I'm talking 18, 19-year-old boys, to the likes of Stuart Faulds, who we feel has a real chance. Who's to say he might, sitting this time last year, we didn't think McGuffey would come through like he did. He's still got a long way to go, but he really burst onto the scene. Now, who's to say one of these guys might not be able to burst onto the scene? So that's the challenge for them.
And the target, promotion?
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, when I joined, the target was to avoid relegation from this league, but we should be in the Championship. We should still be in the Championship, and I've taken the heat for that, and that's probably fully justified. But the target's to go and challenge at the top of the league all season and get back up to the Championship.
Well, Graeme, it's a really busy Somerset Park just now. Lots of work going on at the ground behind us just now, but I suppose great news here, really. Ayr United going full time for season 17-18. That's a massive thing for the club, but all fans have heard for a while is things like, you know, how could we finance this? How can Ayr actually go full time? And how do we pay for this?
We've spent a lot of time over the last 2 or 3 months, probably longer than 2 or 3 months, talking about full-time football and how we're going to finance it. There's lots of different ways. On the commercial side of things, we're extremely busy this summer. We're looking at trying to get as many new sponsors and advertisers in as we can, whether that be for things like trackside boards, programme advertisers, we'll have the new website, people can advertise on the new website. We need to do work on keeping our existing sponsors and advertisers happy, and these are key ways that we need to try and get a lot more of the business community involved in Ayr United, and that's one of the things we're working on every single day.
Now there are rumours going around there's going to be other changes at Somerset Park, hospitality, club, shop. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, we'll start with the hospitality. I'm sure everyone, or a majority of our supporters, have been in the Ally McLeod Hospitality Suite at some point since it's been open, and Jimmy Cope and the staff have just done an absolutely incredible job. Anyone who has been there for hospitality or a function, an event, whatever it might be, I'm sure that they're well aware of the reception that they get and the service that they get from the staff. So these guys have done a fantastic job. However, the time is absolutely right for the club to take the hospitality suite back, and we need to maximise all of our revenue streams, and the hospitality suite will be key to that. So on the 12th of September, the hospitality suite will move back underneath the club, and from that point onwards, if you have a function, if you have hospitality at a game, if you have a beer, all the money will go to the club.
Now the shop as well, there's rumours about that as well, coming back into club ownership.
Yeah, the shop, the club shop, the guys, John and Ronnie and Lawrence and Carl and Betty and all these guys have been there for 7 years, and I feel as a fan that they brought pride back, a lot of pride back to the club, and before they came in, I mean, you could never have imagined buying some of the things, Ayr United onesie, or whether it be United golf tees, there's just an incredible amount of stuff in there, and I'm not the only one who's spent a lot of money in there over the years, stocking up on Ayr United merchandise. These guys have done an absolutely incredible job, and again, I think that the time is right now with the badge. John, Roy and Lawrence, I mean, these guys have got other business interests, and they've been here a long time. The contract was up for negotiation in the June 2018. However, we felt that now was a good time to see if we could sort something that suited all parties. We've spent the last few weeks doing that, and on the 1st of July, the shop will come back under the club, and from that moment onwards, again, all your Ayr United merchandise, your money will go to straight into the club.
Now you're talking about the club shop. One of the things they do is sell the season tickets as well. Have you any information? Season tickets, when are they coming out for first? Because that's one of the things I always look for. Yes,
the season tickets, they're ordered at the moment, and we expect the season tickets probably to arrive within 3 to 4 weeks. And as soon as we're able to firm up an exact date, then we'll put that out along with the prices. In terms of the prices for season tickets, there probably won't be a huge change, but we have got a few different ways that we're going to sell the season tickets this year. As you know, we had fans meetings last year with the board of directors, etc. And we've taken feedback from that. So there's going to be a couple of changes to season tickets this year. The junior season ticket, which was normally from 12 to 16-year-olds, will now be 12 to 18-year-olds. And we're also going to have a concession bracket, which will now have OAPs, it will have students, and it will also have 18 to 21-year-olds under concessions. And again, that's something that we had a lot of feedback from our supporters for, so we feel as though that's a positive move. And another thing that we'll try and do is bring a bit of extra value to the season ticket. So from the start of this season, anyone who's a season ticket holder can get £10 off if they're ever going for match hospitality. And that will start from this season as well. And there's a few other people that we're speaking to at the moment where we could potentially add a bit more value, but the season ticket holders are obviously extremely important to us, and that's also
United Media
absolutely
to deal with as well.
If you purchase a season ticket, you get money off a United Media season ticket, and again, it's all about adding value, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, anything for a plug there from me as well.
Absolutely. I mean, again, you talk about the season ticket, the new strips. The new strips will be out. The new strip we expect to arrive in the club shop probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now the club shop currently will sell the new strip when it arrives, so probably the start of June. But again, the new strip for this season's new strip, although the guys in the shop will still be there till the 30th of June, all the profits from the new strip will go straight into the club. So that'll be the home top. The away top will be on sale. We're going to do a launch for the new shop on Thursday the 6th of July. It'll be open from 4 till 8 that night. We're probably going to do a lot of Thursday late night opening this year, but we'll open the shop on the Thursday the 6th of July from 4 till 8. We'll have a few things on that night. We might have some wine, we'll have some players in there, and we'll also launch the away strip in there that night. So the away strip will be launched on Thursday the 6th of July. I mean, in the meantime, I would say the guys currently are in the shop till the 30th of June, and I'm sure you know there's a lot of stock in there with the old badge that's going for next to nothing. So I would encourage any supporters to come along anytime between now and the 30th of June and make sure you come and get a few bargains in there and help relieve these guys of some of the stock.
Absolutely, I've already been in there today and I've ordered my strip from last year, so it's a good one as well. But we're talking about strips there, you nearly got away from that. Any hints, what is the new strip like?
I have no comment whatsoever.
Is it going to be one that fans are going to like?
Yeah, absolutely. The home top is got it's a modern top, but it's got a wee bit of a feel to a strip from previous years to it. But it's in a modern style. I think it'll be really popular and it'll look fantastic with the new badge on it as well. The away kit, absolutely no comment on that. I need to wait and see.
Oh, too much. I'll try and ask you later. I'll try and get photographs out as well. You mentioned there, like the opening of the shop, the event there. Are there any other events in the planning for this year?
Yes, I mean there'll be more on this shortly, but in mid-June we're going to have a foot golf event which will be organised by Gavin Craig, who's Scotland's #1 foot golfer, almost Britain's #1 foot golfer, and he is organising an event which will encompass a lot of big named ex-players. So it should be a fantastic day. That's going to be in the middle of June, and that'll be a fundraiser with all the funds going into the playing budget as well. So that'll be absolutely fantastic. So we'll announce more details on that probably in the next week or two. But that'll be a foot golf event in the middle of June. As always, our shirt and shorts draw will be at the start of July. And again, this year we're going to put a massive emphasis on trying to get a record number of entries for the shirt and shorts draw. Chance to have your company logo or your own name, or you can give it away to a charity, whatever you choose, on the back of the strips and the shorts. It's an event that's really important to us. We want it to really take off. We want to get 100 different business people up in the hospitality suite for the event. So the shirt and shorts draw is definitely something that we'll be putting a big focus on this year, and again we'll announce details of that shortly. But if you want to enter the shirt and shorts draw as a group of fans, or on your own, or somebody with a business, then definitely get in touch. It should be a good year for it this year.
So we'll come back again trying to bring more money into the club, encouraging this. Now you let me into a little secret, and I hope I'm not spilling too much here, but it's a new feature called Tile the Tunnel, I think it's.
Yeah, we're going to tile the entire tunnel area.
When you say the tunnel area, do you mean inside?
Yeah, inside where the dressing rooms are. So there's a huge amount of wall space outside the dressing rooms, and Motherwell have got. There's probably a few clubs that do it. Motherwell they've tiled that whole area with lovely tiles. I've got the badge on it and a message from the supporters. And what we want to do is, obviously it's a way of creating extra revenue, but it's a way of making your mark on Somerset Park, leaving a message for the players, so that when the players are coming in and out of that area, what they see is these lovely tiles that have got a fantastic message on there.
So this is trying to inspire the players going out like.
Yeah, listen, when we announce this, you'll be able to put whatever you want on there. You can just put your name, or a few names in your family, but I'm sure some people will just have nice messages that come on air and they put their name underneath it or something like that. But it will look fantastic, and it will be something that you know, I think it'll be very, very popular.
Have you any idea of the costings of that, or you got a ballpark for it?
We're still working on that at the moment. It'll probably be anything between £40 and £50 for one of these, and you get a certificate with it as well. And so I think it'll be fantastic. I mean, funnily enough, I called about it earlier on today, and we've not even announced anything. Somebody wanted to buy a present for a birthday, so I think it'll be very popular for that kind of thing as well. And this season is all about we need to try and maximise every revenue stream that we possibly can, and you know, it's going to be a lot of work, but it's exciting, and you know, we're really going to go for it this season. You know, the backing of Lackland, of course, and you know, all of us here need to work as hard as we possibly can to try and you know, make sure we get back up, and that, you know, that's what we're going to do.